Okay, welcome back. So, sustainable development, it's a term you hear pretty much everywhere now, right? Climate change conversations, economics. But what does it actually mean? Like, if you strip it right back, we did a bit of a deep dive into one source, a piece called Defining Sustainable Development, just to really unpack that. What's the core idea? What are the essential bits? And, well, why should we care? The source itself gives a pretty clear definition right up front. It says sustainable development is about meeting our own needs today, but crucially, without messing things up for future generations so they can meet their needs too. Simple sounding, but quite powerful.
Oh, definitely. It really is. And the source makes it clear this isn't just like an environmental slogan. It's fundamental. It's about how we live now so people can live well later, too.
Right.
Acknowledging that, our choices today, they have real consequences down the line. Environmentally, yes, but socially, economical, too.
Right, right. And it's not just one thing, is it? The source talks about it being built on interconnected pillars.
Exactly. Three main ones it highlights: environmental, social, and economic.
3 dimensions.
Yeah. And the piece really stresses that you can't have proper sustainable development if one of those is, well, weak or ignored. They all link up.
Okay, so let's break those down a bit. How does the source illustrate each one? What are some concrete examples it gives?
Sure. So for the environmental one, it's not just save the planet vaguely. The source points to specific stuff like switching to solar power instead of coal. That's a big one. Also focusing on actively reducing waste, not just managing it. And protecting key resources, forests, water, the essential. It's basically about looking after our physical world properly.
Okay, managing our home. Makes sense. What about the social dimension?
Right, social. This is where, according to the source, things like human well-being and fairness come in. Examples mentioned include access to free education, pushing for women's rights, and something it calls climate justice, which is about making sure the impacts of climate change and the actions we take are shared fairly. Also, making sure marginalized groups are properly integrated. It's really about people and thriving together.
People and fairness. Got it. And the third pillar?
The economic one. And this isn't anti-growth, not according to this source anyway. It's about a type of growth. Growth that creates jobs, sure, but doesn't trash the environment or, exploit workers. So specific examples mentioned are companies paying fair wages or investing seriously in clean technology, prosperity, but shared and clean prosperity.
So it's this constant balancing act then. Planet, people, prosperity, all needing to work together.
Pretty much, yeah.
Why does the source say this balance is just so critical, like non-negotiable?
Well, the argument presented is pretty straightforward, really. If we burn through all our resources now or wreck the environment, there's literally nothing left for those who come after us. Simple as that. And it also points out, economies can't function, societies can't thrive. If the planet they depend on is degraded, they're fundamentally tied together.
That interdependence seems key. Okay, so moving from the big ideas, did the source give practical, sort of everyday examples of this in action?
It did, yeah, which helps make it feel more real. It talks about things like agriculture using organic methods. That protects the soil, the water. In education, it mentions teaching kids about climate change and sustainability from an early age.
Oh, right.
For energy, it's explicit about investing in wind, in solar, tangible things. Building design, too, making energy-efficient green buildings. And transport encouraging public options, or electric cars, bikes, shifts we actually see happening.
And this isn't just local stuff, is it? It's a global thing. The source mentions the UN.
Yes. It brings in the UN's 17 Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, sort of the global plan. The source flags a few key ones, like ending poverty, quality education, gender equality, clean energy, sustainable cities, climate action. They really cover that whole spectrum. We talked about environmental, social, economic, but on a world scale.
17 goals. That's a lot to tackle.
Yeah.
Which brings it back to us, maybe. What about individuals? Does the source suggest things we can do?
It does, yeah. It connects those big goals right back to personal actions. Simple things, really. Saving electricity, saving water, recycling, reducing waste, the basics. Also, encouraging environmental education, maybe in schools or the community, choosing public transport, walking, cycling more often, supporting local businesses or ones that are genuinely trying to be eco-friendly, and importantly, just raising awareness, talking about it, especially, the source says, with young people.
It's interesting how it all connects back, isn't it? Your daily choices, these huge global goals, and those 3 core pillars: environment, society, economy.
Absolutely. It's all part of the same picture. Recognizing those links is kind of the point, I think.
So, drawing from our look at this source today, here's something to maybe think about. If sustainable development really is about balancing our needs today with the needs of the future, which is one small habit, one tiny change you could make this week, that genuinely honors that balance.